Hi friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, today's video is the most exciting video for myself and my family that we've ever made here on YouTube. Not only is this project a major renovation to our gardens, but it literally has changed the entire course of our life. And that might sound extreme, over the top, and maybe even like clickbait, but it's truly not. But before I tell you and catch you up on what's been going on in our personal lives and why this project is so important, let's just go ahead and get it done. So over the course of this video, we're going to be installing an instant hedge over in our orchard. So we started this big renovation about a month ago when we took out a lot of bird cherries and Rosa Sharons from this corner of our property, our second front yard since we're on a corner lot, and replaced them with a beautiful custom hummingbird privacy screen. And that was really for Grace to keep her in the yard, and also for the benefit of our neighbors and my customers so that they have something beautiful to look at. But it still left us feeling very exposed to multiple neighbors and passerbyers. Since we're on a corner lot and since behind us is a cul-de-sac, we don't really have just one neighbor, we almost have 10 neighbors. And not only can those neighbors see into our backyard, but because of the way the road and our house and property is laid out, we have about 10 townhouses that can see directly into our living room through the backyard, and that's how it's always been since we lived here. But because of those large trees being in the way, and because I knew how expensive it was going to be to take them out, I just never took care of that problem. And so I'm so thankful, and it has made such a difference in our lives to finally have a full privacy screen. But let's go ahead and rewind and let me show you how we got this instant hedge installed. And before we get started, I'm going to show you just a size comparison on how the Mini Hedge XL Emerald Green Arborvitae comes to you versus a emerald green arborvitae hedge that I put in from individual plants 7 years ago. And then I'll meet you back here for a tour and an update on why we're not going to move anymore. So here's my current screen of emerald green arborvitaes. And I think I just purchased these from the Home Depot about 7 years ago. And I would say it took a full 6 years for them to grow in and touch. And then right in front of it is the, look at Grace, right in front of it is the Mini Hedge XL Emerald Green Arborvitae. And so we're going to line the entire orchard with these. And I love the containers too, because my husband was saying we could even use these as window boxes after. So they're just perfect. Well friends, we are officially done with this garden renovation. We have 84 feet of InstaHedge installed, and I just can't believe the incredible transformation to our property. So to install this, we dug a really long trench. We decided to dig it by hand since we were working around all of these fruit trees and also all of the tree roots that we had recently taken out. So it did take a long time, but I would say the process was easy overall. And I just can't believe how different everything looks. So a lot of the plants in this area got pretty beat up during this renovation, but it will be wonderful to see everything come back to life next year. It's interesting because this area where we have the apple and the 2 cherries, it stayed shade. And so we just have hostas. Sedum is the plant that I was propagating in the previous video by just sticking cuttings into the ground. And then we do have some big leaf hydrangeas and some mountain hydrangeas. And the area in the corner here, we had to kind of get creative because we were not able to put the instant hedging in because we have a ginormous trunk and huge roots in this corner, kind of right where you see that stop sign. So I went in and I put I put 5 thin man arborvitaes kind of in this small grouping in this area. 4 are inside the fence, 1 is outside the fence, and I thought that would be really nice to have that grow in and just bring a little bit of different texture and structure to the corner, and Grace can still see who's coming from that area. So my plan for this garden moving forward is to keep the shade garden as it is, and if you follow this mulch line, imagine that that garden ends, then I'm going to seed in a mix of fescue and clover and have a moment where there's just grass right here, kind of where Grace is, and then now that this area is in full sun, I'm going to bring in, I think, another hedge right here to conceal the compost pile. I already have it concealed with some more thin man in the front, so I'm going to bring out the emerald green forward, put 1 more emerald green there so that it really feels like an enclosed room. And then I want to make a white keyhole garden that you'll see from straight ahead and kind of hedge it in so that you would maybe just see a statue straight ahead, maybe an armory, but something where there is a hidden, somewhat hidden keyhole garden straight ahead. And I think that will be so cool. But I think what I'm going to do for this year is just do all sunflowers and straw flower in that plain dirt area just to get the ground covered, and then we'll start to cultivate that more permanent space next season. I mean, I just can't believe what a major difference this has made, and it's made the difference instantly. It truly is an instant hedge. And we had originally, before we knew we couldn't have a fence over here, we had a contractor come out and give us a price on just a standard 6-foot wooden fence, and wouldn't you know, it was almost the exact same price as getting all of this instant hedging. And I think it looks so much more beautiful. It's legal because you're allowed to have these type of plants on a corner lot on your second front yard. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm just so incredibly thankful to Instant Hedge. The process of ordering these and getting them was incredibly easy. I can't believe how easy it was. The girl that I was in contact with, her name was Stephanie. I tell you, I have never received better customer service ever in my entire life. And I'm just really excited to see how these grow versus ones that you might purchase at Lowe's or a local garden center and plop those in the ground, because I know it took those emerald green arborvitaes that I'm pretty sure I purchased at Lowe's. It took them 6 years to grow together, and I have those spaced 3 feet apart on center. So it'll be really interesting to kind of watch the difference, because we only need about, I would say, maybe 18 inches more height-wise, and then it'll completely block the sight line of the second story of our neighbors' houses. So now, if you're still interested in sticking around and getting a little bit of a life update, I'll share what's been going on personally with you and why this change has made such a big impact on the trajectory of my family's life. So it was about a year ago that my husband and I, ever since we moved here to southern Pennsylvania, and we've been here together 15 years, we've been here separately probably 25 years, but ever since we've lived here, we've both admired this house that is built into the earth. It's kind of built like an earth ship, which my husband, look, a car just drove by and we didn't even see it. Isn't that amazing? I can't believe it. But we've always admired this house because it's kind of like an earth ship, but it has a modern front. And my husband has always wanted to live and also build an earth ship. Well, wouldn't you know that about a year ago it went up for auction, and we thought, oh my goodness. We called our real estate agent right away. We got down there. It was, I think, almost 2 acres, which around here is so incredibly expensive, 2 acres. All that to say, we got there and the house was a wreck. Now, you probably recall that our house was a wreck when we moved in here, but we got this house for a steal, and so we were able to fix it. So it was kind of just an interesting development that the house that we had always thought was our dream home turned out to be a complete wreck inside, and all of the land was in front of the house, so it was actually even louder at that property. So we were all ready to go to the auction, you know, financially we were all lined up, and once we saw the inside of the house, we just thought, you know what, we've already fixed up one house, I don't think we want to fix up another, especially with 2 acres in the front of the house on a main road. So fast forward, I think about a month or 2, and I was trying to find a picture of what this house looked like, the back of the garden looked like, for a video. This is very recently. So I'm Googling our property to try to find some photographs, and I discover that another house has gone on the market that, once again, looks like it would be our dream home. It is bigger, which, to be honest, my husband and I could care less about the property. We could live in a tent and be happy, we really could. But it had 2 acres in the back that had some developed gardens, it had some row crops growing, and it also had a log cabin, a hand-built log cabin in the back, which basically could have been a floral studio. So we saw it the same day it went on the market. We immediately put in a full price offer, no contingencies, and we were outbid and lost the house. And this has been happening on and off for many years because hardly anything comes on the market in the city that we live in. Almost nothing with, I would say, an acre goes on the market that's not a brand new build. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, when we moved here, we always thought we would just move somewhere else as soon as we could. And it was really based on privacy concerns. You know, there is a lot of good things that come with living on a corner lot, but you really do not have, there comes another car, and we barely saw it. But you really don't have any privacy at all in the space that you're trying to create and cultivate as like a peaceful sanctuary, a secret garden. It just kind of started to have the opposite effect, where people were complaining about the property. The police showed up here one day to give me a weed ordinance for this area, and I tell you, once the police came here, and they came here because of my garden, you know, that really broke my heart, and I think broke my spirit in a lot of ways. And that's when I just started to say, I don't even want to be here anymore. If someone's going to call the police on a place that I'm trying to make beautiful, for me, it was just, I don't know what else to say except it was heartbreaking, and it was very hard for me to let that event go. So fast forward, and here we are. We have a solution to all of these problems. We have a legal privacy screen. We have eliminated the trees, which are problematic. We have eliminated the fence that our neighbors didn't like. We basically eliminated any kind of problem from the property that is glaringly obvious to us. And now we can just sit and enjoy the peace that I've been trying to create and cultivate for all these years. Because, you know, even my parents would come over, and, you know, you can always kind of just be honest with your parents and your husband, right? And you'd say, it looks so beautiful, but, you know, and I was really getting hung up on the but, and I was